Okay, so welcome to our bounce back session. Um, Looks like I'm already advancing my slides. Today we're gonna go over certain topics on how to improve your GPA. If you felt like you didn't do your best last semester, as advisors, we're here to help you, and we're going to provide you some skills and techniques, and also some resources. Today your host is myself, and also Jen. So I'm going to pass it on to Jen.
Thanks, Kelly. So, what we're talking about today to help you bounce back from maybe your less than perfect semester. Number one, we're going to be looking at GPA calculations and how that can be helpful to you. We're looking at advising tips for success. That's where we can come in and help some more on our end in the School of Engineering Hub. Always, we have campus resources for you to utilize. And of course, time for questions. Next, please. So, what is GPA? How does that work? So, your GPA is going to be calculated using an equation. It's your quality points divided by your credit hours. That's your cumulative GPA. You can see in the little graphic here different grades, A through F, and then the quality points that are assigned to them. You don't have to take a picture. You can if you want to, but this is also listed on the registrar's website if all else fails. So basically, when you are starting in as a freshman, you have to realize that the courses with more credits are going to carry more weight for you. Also, in freshman year, those first semesters, every grade is going to have a significant impact because these are all the classes that you have so far. As the number of credits do increase, each class matters a little bit less overall. So as you're racking up classes, going through your time at RPI, there will be less impact to your overall GPA as you go through. That's important to remember, as if being a freshman wasn't hard enough. Okay, next, please. And then a little bit more about GPA. This is an example that we have here that shows even if you have a rough freshman year, you're adjusting, you're transitioning from high school, you can still bounce back and get back on track with a GPA that reflects where you're used to being. So in this example, you're starting out as a freshman, it's fall 2023, you have your chem, math, engineering courses, and your Haas inquiry. And here are the grades, a B minus, D, C, C, and a B. So that's 17 credits. That GPA came out to a 2.16. And for someone who is used to being a high school student who got nothing but 4.0s, that's a big deal. But we're going to show you how a little bit of work will get you back up to where you want to be. So come spring semester, that's what we're in right now, your second semester freshman. We have a B minus, a C minus, a pass for engineering 1300, that one credit class there, and then for a psych class an A. So with all of these together, you have a total term GPA of 2.66, which has improved quite a bit, but your cumulative GPA went from a 2.16 to a 2.4. Great. So then now we're looking at your sophomore year. It's fall 2024. You get a B, another B. You're starting to get those studying skills down. You know how to take notes. You know how to take the test more effectively. You get a C, an A minus, and an A. So now we're getting A's into the mix. So your total term GPA is a 3.15. Awesome. That brings the cum GPA up to a 2.68. So you haven't even made it through your first 4 semesters, and you've already been able to improve from a 2.16 to a 2.68. This is just a good example of how your GPA can improve a little each semester. And these are not huge improvements. You didn't go from your first semester to straight A's. So that's something to keep in the back of your head. Anything I missed there, Kelly, that you would bring up?
The only thing I'm thinking of is you mentioned engineering 1300 as a pass. That is a passing credit that does not calculate towards your GPA. So I just want to make sure our students know that. And also I see that we have psych posted twice here. So let's just pretend that that was a psych upper level class. Repeating a grade is a whole other thing. So definitely talk to your advisor about that. RPI's policy is that the most recent grade replaces the old grade. So there's pros and cons to that, obviously. Say your D in Calc 1, you want to retake it for an A. if you earn an F the second time around, you will need to take it a third time for a passing grade. So there's definitely scenarios where retaking a class is useful. Obviously, if you earn an F, you will need to retake the class. So things like that. One more other thing I want to mention is transfer credit. A lot of students have AP credit already attached to their account, or you want to take a summer class that will transfer into RPI. If you follow the procedure and our policy for that, the credits come in, not the grade. So, if you get a B in Physics 2 over the summer and you transfer that in, the credits will come in. So it wouldn't necessarily change your GPA in that aspect. So just want to make that note there.
Good points. Thank you. Think we're ready for the next slide. So these are a couple of advising tips for success. A lot of these have to do with conversations you will have with us as your School of Engineering Hub advisors. The first star here says, know your important dates and deadlines. That's huge. The next really important deadline is the drop deadline, which is March 1st. So less than a month away. We have a really great drop deadline. It gives you tons of time to get 1 or 2 tests under your belt to see how you're doing in a class before you drop the class. But be aware that you need to do that by March 1st in the spring semester. Consider retaking a course for a better grade and potential GPA boost. Kelly alluded to this just a moment ago. So retaking a course, this is going to have different ramifications for different students. If you fail a class at RPI, you're going to need to retake it so you can boost your GPA. Quick note that was related to what Kelly said. If you were to choose to take a class at a community college and try to transfer the credit in, it would allow you to pass the class and move forward with your program, but it's not going to touch your GPA at all. It just comes in as transfer credit. So your best course of action if you fail a class is taking it at RPI, so you get the GPA boost. It's important to remember what Kelly said about the newest grade at RPI is going to replace the previous grade, whether it's higher or lower. So that's something to keep in the back of your head as well. Look into pass no credit options for eligible courses. Typically, those eligible courses are going to be free electives. Depending on what program you are, what your major is, there are different scenarios there, but it's basically going to be for your free electives that you're looking to do pass no credit. You can't pass no credit anything that's in a minor, a dual major, or a named course. Anything I'm missing there, Kelly? Because pass no credit's a big deal.
Yeah, that deadline is in the middle of April, so we have some time for that too. But definitely, there's not many options for first year students, but you pointed out everything.
Okay, thanks. And the last thing, very important, discuss all options with your hub advisor. We do see students that'll kind of go rogue and drop a class or add a class before talking to their advisor. It's kind of the reason that we're here. You don't even have to schedule an appointment. It can be via email, but it's good to touch base with us because all the little nuances about pass no credit or retaking a class at RPI, or should I retake a class if I got a B minus? These are all important conversations to have because we want you to be successful, but we also don't want you to tax yourself trying to get straight A's when you could be moving forward with your program within a 4-year period of time. And with that being said, I'm going to let Kelly take over for the next slide.
Sure. Thanks, Jen. Oop, I hit it twice. Okay, so just some overall organization tips. When that first day of class, and I know we're a few weeks in, but you could still do these now. Highlight those test dates. I know there's a few tests tomorrow, and we had some already our first exam for some courses, but those due dates, those discussion posts, those all add up. Presentations, all those little quizzes, they can really help your grade. And sometimes even if attendance is optional, the professor will remember you. So going to as many classes as you can and getting as much out of it as you can. So, What you don't know is a big chunk before you come into RPI. You're learning the language, you're learning the lingo, all the acronyms that we have here. And then there's things that you know calculus. You've had similar math courses. So, and then you're learning what you don't know. So what questions are you asking those professors during office hours? So it's a big part of staying organized and doing the best you possibly can and being prepared for that next test. Bouncing off on that is, create a centralized place that holds all of your important information. You have Microsoft 365. Use the calendar attached to it. That's what we use every day to book our appointments, and then you can see our appointments on there as well. A planner, a digital planner, Google Calendar is also very user friendly, or just writing on a typical calendar. So write down all the office hour schedules so they're accessible. If your class time conflicts with an office hour, reach out to the professor and see if there's another time they're willing to meet with you. Maybe it's after class, but have those questions prepared so that you know what you're asking, and then you can kind of go through what material you have questions about. So overall, general resources on campus. So for our international students, we have ISSS. We have the Archer Center for Student Leadership Development. The Rensselaer Union has so many things attached to that as well, especially with your clubs. And other events that happen on campus. And then we have the CCPD for the Center for Career and Professional Development. There are engineering specific counselors there that can really support you, and especially navigating, GPA requirements for certain internships. That's where that GPA calculation can come in handy. Also in your DegreeWorks, there's a GPA calculator unit that you can use in there that can help determine what your dream GPA is and what your goal is each semester. So just want to touch on that. I know the career fair is this week, so there's going to be a lot of things happening in that office, but I encourage you all to go to that as well. Some other resources, the Writing Center supports students with class assignments and independent projects. Take advantage of their help. They're located in the library. They can read, quick papers or even some longer papers that you have, especially like those pre-labs and post-labs. There's writing components part of that. So if there's some things you want to have them check on, definitely a resource for you. ALAC, of course, we recommend the tutoring website, and we highly recommend the eCav tutoring. I know it's a little far for some students. However, if you can make the bus and get up there, it's really worth it. We're finding a lot of students are finding the eCav tutoring really helpful, and they have things almost going on every night. So especially IEA, Calc, Physics, definitely the main ones, they have a tutor available. And then it's your learning assistants. You're living with learning assistants. So, they also are sharing videos with their best tips, soft skills, and are available for individual meetings too. So they've been here before. They've gone through RPI as a first year student. So definitely utilize them as a resource. Another thing we want to emphasize is the Health and Counseling Center. Everything really happens in Academy Hall, so located right on campus. They do take appointments. There's also drop-in available too. I would check out their website. They've been posting that a lot too in Morning Mail. But anything, it's with your physical and your mental health. We want to make sure that you are performing your best. So make an appointment with them. They're open 7 days a week. We have the health center and the counseling number here as well. But utilize the drop-ins too. If you're finding that the appointments aren't as quick as you want them to be, we'd highly recommend joining their drop-in appointments as well. No, that was a really quick run through. The key here is reaching out to your advisor. If you showed up today, that's great. We want to continue to work with you and know what your goals are and utilizing these resources to make sure you get there. So we already had 1 or 2 tests for some classes. So we want to make sure that you are doing the best you can, and that's what we're here for. So I'll kind of wrap it up here. Jen, if there's anything I missed, definitely step in. If there's any questions, we can answer those as well.
Yep, definitely make your appointments. Don't forget about your SAM meetings and come see
Yeah,
us on
plug.
Wednesdays.
Yeah, during your SAM meeting, we can definitely review all those options too, especially about transfer credit and retaking courses. Those are the most popular questions we get. But yeah. reach out to your advisor, ask your professor questions, write down those office hours, and we're here to help.
Thanks, you guys.
Just gonna stop here just to see if there's any questions we have. But
0 questions.
okay.
Yay. Thanks.
Well, cool. All right. Have a great day, everyone.
Take it easy.